Hi guys! Today I'm going to show you how to do a poinsettia because I think it's fitting for the season that we are going through right now. My favorite time of the year, Christmas and the end of the year. Just a time to reflect on everything that's happened and going to happen in the new year. It's always an exciting time for me. It's a gorgeous flower. I love the reds. I love the greens. And so I'm going to show you how to do this and hopefully you guys like it. So to prep for this, I'm going to use 3 brushes, one for the red, one for the yellow, and the other one for the greens. And so I have my colors mixed and ready, and I'm just going to move this out of the way and we can begin. And so the first thing we want to do is start off with the centers and do the yellow. And so you just dab it in there, do the points for the poinsettia. I know, super cheesy. And now I'm going to go in with my green brush and I'm just going to put in a little bit of green, and it's fine if it kind of blends in with the yellow. This is going to be the lighter green because the leaves around the poinsettia are usually a lot darker and they're like this rich forest green. So the center usually has like a lighter green, and that's fine. And now I'm going to go with my red. Now, because the poinsettia has layers of petals, what I will do is I will go lighter on the outside. I'll do the outside petals first. So I'm going to start something like this. And they're pointed. So the outer ones, you want to make sure that they're a lot lighter, because this is where the layering comes in. And let's just make sure that the shape of these are right. Something like that. And then you have another one. And then you do another one. And you can go in with more water and just make it bigger because they're nice and full, the outside leaves. And another one there. Something like that. And again, it's fine if the edges touch. That might even be a nice thing. And it's okay if they're not perfect. So you get that nice bleeding in effect. And maybe even do some of that. Okay, and then I am going to take my green. I'm going to let that set a little bit. So I'll take my green, and then I'm going to start doing the green. And notice that I've taken 2 different greens here, and that's again just to sort of build up some depth, build some interesting color, so it's not just a flat one color leaf. I'm going to take a little extra water and just go around the edges and make that like that. So you see the effect it gives, like it goes a little bit lighter. And then you want the tips to be pointed like that. And then I'm going to go over here on this side. Do the same thing here. And just put in a dab of that second shade of green. And then the poinsettias usually have like a ton of green leaves just all around it, making it look like more layers of petals, but just in a different color, which I think is just gorgeous in its natural beauty that way. So you try and put as many leaves as you can and put in that rich green. And again, you can go a little bit lighter on the edges, so dip your brush in some water and then just go around the edges that way, and that should be fine. And then you can create as many leaves as you really want, obviously. So I'm gonna do one more before I can head back in to doing okay, I don't like leaving things at 4, so I'm going to do one more leaf and just make it like 5 and an odd number as opposed to even, because that's just me, even though there will be more on the other side. I'm all about the odd numbers and having odd things because it's just visually more stimulating in design. Okay, that's the designer in me talking. All right, okay, so I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to go back with my reds, and this time with a darker red. I'm just going to make sure I have a darker red going on my brush. And I'm going to go in and do smaller petals in red. And you see it's still a little bit wet, but you know what? Just go with it and you'll be surprised at what you can achieve when you're sort of trying things even though it's not quite ready, or completely dry rather. I'm going to do one more here, just making sure that the edges are pointed or close to it. Okay, and now I'm going to make this red a little bit darker by adding a little bit of blue in my red. I'm going to get more of a wine color, And so what I will do is I'm just going to go in and make tinier ones on the side. And maybe even splash some on the inside, so the edges or at the core of the flower you see like this dark to bright red effect happening, which speaks to the many different variations of red richness in the poinsettia. Dab that in. Just make sure you don't put too much blue, because then it turns into a purple, and you probably don't want that to happen. Make sure that that's there. That is in there. Okay, and put that over there as well. And then just one more. One more over there. Now, what I also like to do at this point, because I feel like the edges are a little too flat, I'm just going to go in and do some highlighting. And so by highlighting, I mean I'm just going to go in and that's a little too purpley. I'm going to go in with my red. I need to make it redder. And I'm going to highlight areas like that. And make sure there are tips right there. And then one more over here. And now I'm going to switch back to the green, and this time I'm going to go darker than I was before. And I'm just going to very lightly add some detail. Now I'm choosing to sort of not give the whole leaf a lot of detail and just give it that, maybe it's hidden in the shadows, or it's like revealed in the light, because the colors are never consistent that way throughout, right? So you want to give that natural, well, these aren't by far realistic looking leaves or poinsettias, but it's a style. So as you can see, this part's like a little bit wet, so you're getting some of that blending in there, which I don't mind and I kind of like. So I'm just gonna show different variations of that bit here, and maybe even like intensify the color there. Maybe add some at the edge over here too. And again, go with the flow, kind of experiment and see what works for you, what doesn't, what you like. Maybe even look at the picture if you are drawing by looking at a picture, or sorry, painting by looking at a picture. And then, you know, not all the leaves need detail. Like some of them you can maybe just leave as is. And that also creates like an interesting look and feel. It's all about learning when to let go and not going overboard on detail. Because yes, I also believe as a designer, it's everything's in the detail, but sometimes you need to just let things go, and you'd be surprised by the results. You know, so like to me this is interesting. I'm going to take a slightly different shade of green and do very, very minimalistic, not a lot of detail there. And then I'm going to create like these would be like the background. No detail in between kind of leaves. Just gonna do one more here, maybe make it a small one. And then you have something like this. All right, so this is my poinsettia. I hope you guys like it. What I am going to do is I'm also going to post the finished, like I'm going to do a few more and I'm going to post the finished image on my Instagram. Feel free to check it out. You can follow me at Hello Clarice G on Instagram. So that's HELLOCLARICE yes, on Instagram. All right, guys, thanks so much for your time, and we will chat soon. Bye.